A very good morning to all of you. Let's start the next topics of our chapter heat. Today we are going to learn about the working of clinical thermometer, laboratory thermometer and digital thermometer. The clinical thermometer is used to measure the temperature of a human body. It has a long stem with a bulb at one end and the other end is sealed. The stem has a very thin tube inside it. You can see in the picture also a black colored tube which is very thin, and this tube is called the capillary tube. The shiny liquid present in the bulb and a thin thread of the same liquid in the capillary tube in the stem is mercury. Means the liquid which is present in the bulb as well as in the capillary tube is mercury. And there is a constriction just above the bulb. This is the constriction, and this constriction is called kink. Why this constriction or kink is present in this thermometer? This is present to stop the mercury from coming back into the bulb after the thermometer has been removed from the body. It stops the backflow of mercury. Once we have measured the temperature and it is showing the line or the temperature in the thermometer in the stem, then if we take out the thermometer from the person's mouth or from the contact of his body, then this constriction or the kink prevents the backflow of mercury from the capillary tube to the bulb. Therefore, this kink or constriction is present. The thermometer is graduated from 35 degrees centigrade to 42 degrees centigrade. Now, why this temperature range? Because the temperature of a human body varies within this range. This temperature is to measure the temperature of human body, and the range of human body it ranges between 35 to 42 degrees centigrade. Therefore, it is graded from 35 degrees centigrade to 42 degrees centigrade. The average normal body temperature of a healthy human is how much? 37 degrees Celsius. So this is the structure of a thermometer. Now let's study how we can take the reading from a thermometer, and that too accurately. The working of mercury thermometers is based on the principle that liquids expand on heating and contract on cooling. And why mercury is used? Mercury is used because it is the only metal which exists in liquid state at room temperature, and the second thing is that it has a lustrous property. It is shiny in nature, and due to which it can be read very easily, and therefore it is used in thermometers. Now, reading a thermometer accurately is very important. Why? Because by this reading you are measuring the temperature of a person's body. So you should be accurate with the reading. So let's find out how to read a thermometer. In a thermometer, as I have said, that you can see the graduation from 35 degrees centigrade to 42 degrees centigrade. But there may be variation in the pattern of graduation. You will see long lines like this and some short lines. The difference between two long lines is 1 degree Celsius. Now the variation will be the number of short lines between two long lines. In this case, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 short lines between two long lines. So we can say that 10 short lines are representing 1 degree Celsius. So how much one short line will represent? It will represent 1 by 10 degree Celsius, or we can say 0.1 degree Celsius. So if the mercury level rises till here, we can read it as it is 37 degree, and then after 37 degree 1 2 3 4, how many short lines? 4 short lines. So it means its reading will be 37.4 degree Celsius. Okay, let's take another example. In this clinical thermometer, the number of short lines is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here we can write it as 5 short lines are representing 1 degree Celsius. So how much one short line will represent? It will represent 1 by 5 degrees Celsius, or we can say 0.2 degree Celsius. So if we have to measure the temperature like this, the mercury level is still here. So it is 37 degree, and after 37, 1, 2 and 3. So 0.2 into 3, 0.6. So we can say it as 37.6 degree Celsius. So the difference lies between the number of short lines between two long lines, and by counting this in this way we can measure the temperature accurately. So we have seen how to take the accurate reading in a clinical thermometer. Now let's see what are the precautions which should be followed while reading a clinical thermometer. First is wash the thermometer before and after use. Handle the thermometer with care to prevent breakage since it is of glass. Hold the thermometer horizontally at the eye level. Make sure that the mercury level is below 35 degrees Celsius before use. And the most important one, do not touch the bulb of the thermometer while reading it because it may change the reading. Besides human body, we need to measure the temperature of other objects also. And to measure the temperature of such things, we need to have a wide range of temperature graduation on the thermometer. So for this we use laboratory thermometers. They are graduated generally from -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. And to take the reading of laboratory thermometers, again the same concept is used as we did in clinical thermometer. We have to count the number of small lines between two long lines. Now the difference between clinical and laboratory thermometer is the absence of kink in laboratory thermometer. And if you can recall, we have read that kink prevents the backflow of mercury into the bulb as soon as we take out the thermometer from the contact of the body. So for this reason, laboratory thermometers should be held upright and should be in contact of the material of which we want to take the temperature, because as soon as we take out the thermometer from that particular material, the mercury level will fall. Now calibrating a laboratory thermometer. For this, first we should know what does calibrating mean. Calibrating means making the marking the units of measurements on a thermometer. For that, if you remember, we have read that in all the three scales, whether Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin scale, we have seen that they have a lower fixed point and upper fixed point. So we have to mark the lower fixed point and the upper fixed point in this thermometer, in this laboratory thermometer. So how to do that? We know that the lower fixed point was the freezing point and the upper fixed point was the boiling point of water. So to calibrate a laboratory thermometer, the bulb is first put in melting ice. Why in melting ice? As the melting ice will have the temperature of 0 degrees Celsius. So wherever the mercury level gets stable, that point is marked as 0 degrees Celsius, or if we talk in Fahrenheit scale, it will be 32 degree Fahrenheit or 273 Kelvin. See why this is done? Because melting of ice will take place at 0 degrees Celsius only. So we have used melting of ice to know the lower fixed point. Now the thermometer is kept in contact with boiling distilled water from which steam is coming out, and we know that it will occur only at 100 degrees Celsius. So the level at which the mercury level stabilizes is marked as the upper fixed point, which is 100 degree Celsius or 212 degree Fahrenheit or 373 Kelvin. Now once we have marked the lower and the upper fixed points, the space between the two fixed points is then equally divided and further subdivided. The larger the number of subdivisions, the more accurate will be the thermometer to read. And to use the thermometer, it is kept in contact with the object whose temperature is to be measured, and the level of the mercury in the capillary is read against the scale printed. Nowadays, to measure the human body temperature, a digital thermometer is used. The digital thermometer is an electronic device which measures temperature. A digital thermometer consists of a temperature sensor which is called thermistor, whose resistance depends on temperature. When the temperature increases, the resistance increases, and when the temperature decreases, the resistance decreases. In this way, it measures the change in resistance of the material due to heat and converts it to analog signal. We read the temperature reading on the LCD display in a digital thermometer, and there is a press button to reset the thermometer. There are some advantages if we compare it to the earlier versions of thermometers, that it does not contain mercury as it is toxic in nature, it is lightweight, and it provides accurate readings. So in this way we have learned about the working of clinical, laboratory and digital thermometers, and we have also learned how to take accurate reading in clinical and laboratory thermometers. Thank you.